Hello buddies, and welcome back to this C programming language for the beginners. And it's a pretty super morning, and I'm so excited to introduce you to this new world of C. And as you can see on my desktop here, I have something different from what we did last time. In the previous lesson we talked about introduction. We learned about we talked about little things about C, and we did almost all the introduction, and today we want to learn about syntax. And the code you can see on my desktop, and if I run it just like the other one, we can see okay, it's saying that let me just run it. Okay, first of all you have to build it, and to build a project like this, and you can see it has written hello world. So this is what we learned in the previous lesson, but we were using Eclipse, and today we want to use CodeBlock, because CodeBlock, I thought that it's a good idea for C, unlike the Eclipse. So to start with this, and remember, if you don't have one, I showed you how to install, but one thing that you have to remember is about including the min-g, this one over here. Once you install this and you pick the packages, you put this path, you come to C, just open your C where the min-g was installed here, and then you copy the path, you copy this path. You just first open this, and then you copy this path, and then you make sure this part you include in the environment, just like I showed you. If you new today here, just go back to, or just scroll down and see the introduction part. You can see on how to put this min-g in the path that this code block is going to see and compile your code. So without much ado, let's get started. So to start with this, you just click File and create New Project, and then you pick the console application. You go ahead like this, and then you go Next. You pick C Programming, and you click on this button Next, and you give your project name. And because we're going to talk about syntax, I've already created that, I don't need, but you can just name whatever you want. So you can say, just do it again, syntax, because today we are going to learn about syntax. But I put one there because I already have this one here. So click Next, and so if you don't find this GMU, this GCC compiler, make sure you go back to the video that I've already told you and see how you put that compiler in the part, so that this code block can find it over here. So that is it, and you can pick this, the first one, and then finish. So there we go. So I'm just going to continue with this. So let's get our finger dirty. Welcome once again. So I'm going to, since we are talking about syntax, you have already seen the code a couple of times in the first lesson and also in this lesson. So let's break it down to understand it better. So we're going to, as you can see the code on our desktop right here, let's break it down. So let's start with these keywords that you see a bunch of lines here that you're not familiar with. You're like, whoa. So don't be scared, don't worry a bit, don't be shy to look at your display. Let's get humble. So as you can see, this include, let me just highlight this one over here. This include standard input output h, which is the header. So the header file, this is called a header file library that lets us work with inputs and output functions, such as print function. You see, print function is an output function that shows us what we display on the console. This is the function actually that display this hello world. So it's used the CMD to display this. So again, header file add function to this header files actually. This header files, it adds function into our C program. So these headers, they are normally used to, these are pre-built functions, so libraries, I can say, functions which are placed in a library that we import. It's like we bring this into our program so that we can use it. For example, you don't know how to create this print function, so some guys, the Dennis Ritchie, decided that, you know what, I'm going to include this so that once somebody starts getting coding, he should print something without him struggling too much. So this is it. That is it. So don't worry if you don't understand how include or standard dot page works. Just think of it's something that almost always appears in your program. So the line 2, let's talk about line 2. A blank line over here, this number 3. So just ignore it. It's just a white space, but we use it to make the code more readable. So you just can't go and squeeze things there and here, and you make, you know, for example, have a very weird, absurd, bad handwriting. But with this, you can see my code. So for you to see, I can space a little thing and get creative because my hand cannot do this. But give me that Osprona, baby. So line 3. Another thing that always appears in C program is the main method or the main function, this one here. So this is called a function, and code inside this curly brackets. So you see this is a curly because they are carrying, you know. Any code within this curly bracket will be executed. So let's talk about this int here. Don't worry about this int part. It means that this main function is an int type. An int type is, we will talk about this later, but just remember that it's just to do with number. So you see here, there is a keyword here written return 0. So it means if this was a string, then this should be also return a string. But because this is a number, this is a method which is will return a number. So don't be scared. Don't worry about more of this words that I'm spitting. Just relax. We will talk about this later in a more clear way. So we have said that the main function is just any code. This code, for example, this one is going to be executed. So this is the main function where the code starts to run from. This is the keyword that the program finds, and then it starts to execute all the codes from this keyword. So let's talk about line 4, which is the print function, this one here, which is actually line 6. This was line 4, and this was line 2, this was line 1, but line 1 and 2 is the same, just at the libraries. And let's talk about this line 6. So this line 6 is a print function that is already have explained something. It's the main method. I mean, it's a function that is used to output the print text to the screen so that you can see what you are doing. And in our example here, you can see that it actually output hello world. So now that every C statement ends with the semicolon, this is a statement. This is just a statement. This is a statement. So just be in mind that all the statement in C ends with this semicolon. Another thing that you have to notice is that the body of the int domain could also be written as, let's say, this body of this main could be also written like this. Let me just delete this, and I say that it could be written like this. And int, which could be like, it should be stuck in these kind of places, just like that. And we say print function, and this says print our hello world in a string, just like hello. Hello, Mr. Wolf. You're really wolf, you know. So like that, and it could be like even the ID is telling it should be a capital. So hello, wolf. You're really a wolf. Let me just add something here. And say you're really dumb. Just like that. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just showing you something. So again, I could just put this over here because we've said it must end with a semicolon, just like that, and then we can return our, because this method has to, the main function has to return once it runs. Also, it has to return something to complete the process. So you have to return 0 and then semicolon there. This 0, semicolon there, just like that. So remember, this board can also be written like this. And if we run this, let's run this. First of all, save it. And I think we should paste the build. Yeah, build and run. Just let's see whether you're giving us the correct stuff on our. I hear it. Yeah, I'm waiting. Please run. I'm running. It's running. Let's wait. Oh, since we are using the CMD, you have to cancel the previous one and then you run it. So let's build and run it just like that. So you can see. Hello world. Why are you not giving me the right thing? Hello. Oh, let's compile, build it first. I mean, I have to cancel this. I have to cancel that and then build. Build. Hello, it's just giving me the same thing. I think I have to save it. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I think you have. Anyway, hello, Mr. Wolf. You're really dumb. Okay, yeah, I'm dumb because it didn't work at the first. So what you have to do, because I have like 2 workspaces here. The first thing you have to do is just clean this. It's already clean. Let me just delete this because like you're confusing. Okay, it's just delete. So first of all, let me just cancel this out, and what's supposed to be done here is just to build it and see where it's building, or just rebuild it and it's telling me don't annoy me again, please. Just like that. Let's build again. Build, and then just let me just clean it. Yeah, don't annoy me this time round. And build it, and let's run and see. There we go. So you have to clean it if it fails, and you can build it and run. That's when it works. So as you can see, there was no problem. It worked. So the compiler ignores. I've already said that it ignores this white space here. You can see here it ignores that. Let's just return this to its default way, the better way, just to look clean. Just put this down here, just like that. And also you can format this so that it can look clean. So like that. So let's talk about this return function. So we have said that it just ends the main function, just like that. So what you have to remember is that don't forget to add the closing curly bracket this down here when you finish your coding, and actually it ends the main function. So let's talk about the next thing, that is the C statements. So statements are a simple way, like we can say that a computer program is a list of instructions to be executed by a computer. So in a program language, in any programming language, let's talk specifically about this. These programming instructions are called statements. So we have said they are just a bunch of lines or instructions that the processor just execute one by one, and these instructions are called statements. These are the instructions. So for example, even as you know, especially when you serve the defense system, you have to get the instruction, hey, there you have to go to somewhere and do something. So the same thing here, they just follow the instructions, and those instructions we call them their statements. So let's do a little of instruct. So this instruction, as you can see here, the compiler have to compile them and then print the text. For example, this one here, oh hello Mr. Wolf, you really damn. So let's do a little thing. So another thing important here is that you end the statement with a semicolon, just like this. For example, this is a statement, so you have to end with a semicolon. If you forget the semicolon, an error will occur and the program will not just run. For example, if I do this and remove this here and remove this here, and let's save it. Save. I have to clean probably, because it seems that it has some its own way of. Just clean it, and the next thing, let's just maybe build it. And as you can see, there is a red stuff here. So let's just run this. So it seems that this project has not been built yet. Let's build it then. For us, build it. Just build and run. So you have to rebuild again. So it's not going to work because there is no the double. Let's rebuild again, and it's just clean again. If you want to clean, you can do all the stuff that we want to do and see whether it can work. So this seems that the project has been built. So it's not going to work, but it's not going to work. So that is it. Then another, but I think it should give me something. This cleaning and all thing. So let's just use this file because the interface is corrupt. Let's do this. So let me just remove one of these signs we call semicolon, and we build it and run. Build and run. It's not going to work. Oh, it's not going to work. Hello world. Now, did I build it for real? Let's just build it. Build and clean probably. That should give us some error. Clean it. Let's just build it. So it actually says that there's no exclamation mark over there, this semicolon and it doesn't. It actually fails even to build. It's not. It's actually the idea detected like it's not yet built because there is. Let's turn them here and see whether it can work. Yeah, you can see now it does work. So it seems that the ID detects the error, so it fails totally to rebuild. Yeah, that is it. Oh, so let's talk about many statements, and you have to know that most C programs contain many statements. This is just one of the statements, and this is the second statement. So the statements are expected one by one in the same order as they are written. So we can have a couple of statements here. Let's add more, and we can say that it's a good morning, Mr. Wolf. We can have a couple of statements here. okay, this backslash and then n, it's a new line. It's just printing a new line. So we can say that it is a good morning, Mr. Off, and we can say that when we this instruction without semicolon, errors arise. You can go further on the other side. Just bring this down so that it can be seen. Oh, it's even correct me. It can correct not found semicolon. Semicolon. Wow. Declaration of semicolon. Why don't then you correct me? So it's okay, just forget about that and say that in a new line. It's pretty morning today. Just like that. So let's run this and see how we can have multiple statements. So let's just run this. There we go. So we can see, hello Alice, good morning Mr. Wood. When we run this instruction without semicolon, error arises. It's a pretty morning. Just forget about the spellings, but we were doing things to do with statements. Wow. So from this example here, we have like 4 statements, and the first statement is executed first. This one here is executed first because it's the first statement, and they are normally executed line by line. So you can just paste this just like that, yeah. So then the second statement is executed like print, it's a good morning, and the third statement is also printed, and the last one, the fourth statement, is executed at the end of the C program successfully. So what you have to notice here, we will learn more about statement while reading this, or while we are learning this C programming language. For now, just remember to always end them with a semicolon to avoid any errors. So in the coming up subtopic, we will talk about how to control the output, how you insert a new line to make it more readable. Yeah. So welcome once again. So in this, we just want to learn about this output, which is prints the text. So output, which is the print text, you have to, or you can say that to put value on to print a text in C, you can use the print function. We already know that, and we have used over here. Just minimize this, just delete this, and you can even delete this white space. Let me see this color just like that, so that the code can look clean. So here let's talk about the double quotes. So when you are working with text, it must be wrapped inside a double quotes to make in a double quotation marks. So this one here, to print the text, you must wrap them in this double. Let's just cut this first of all. So it must be wrapped inside this double quotes. So if you forget this, the double quotes, an error will just occur. For example, let's just go Control V, just like that, and then let's run again. So as you can see, once we have this red stuff here, how can I call it? It's a pointer that shows that in this line or in this statement there is a problem For example, again, if I remove this, I think I should have two of them. No, so it actually indicates that the program has started from here. For example, let me just get the double quotes mark and Control V and run it again. So you see, it's telling me that there's a problem here. So if I get them back and run it again, so it's working. So in other words, you must remember these double quotes so that you avoid error. That's a must. And another thing that you should know is about many print functions. So you can use as many print functions as you want. However, know that it does not to insert a new line at the end of the output. So that's why I've already told you that to output the end. Let's just do it. Let me just remove this. Let me remove this stuff over here, and then I print it again. Yes. So we are talking about many print functions. Just copy this, just like that, and then okay. So in this one, I don't have that backslash line, so I can say that this second line and I say it's cool, see if I can say that I know in a few days I'll be really good. So if I run this, let me just, what is this? Debug continue. Okay, just run. Oh, I'll not build it. So if you can click this stuff here to build it, and also you can click this to build and run at the same time, just like that. So you can see hello world, I'm learning, and blah blah blah. It's just one line. So what have we learned from that? When you do this, in these multiple lines, you don't really get a new line. But if you include the backslash, then we're going to have a new line, just like that. So let's talk about a new line. So to do a new line, is so simple. Just to get back what we do from here. Just put this back, and this back, and this back. We're going to have a new line in our output. Then you can hit this just to build it, and then you can run. Now, as you can see, we have a new line, just like this was like that. It's not complicated, and the C programming, I think, is the easiest way of doing it. So we have inserted the backslash line. Oh, this one we had. Actually, let's run it again. Something we did here, so awesome. So they skipped that line over here because we did have these two lines here. So we can just run this, and we can cancel this. And if we run this once again, we are not going to skip any line, just like that. So that is it. So what you have to remember, if we don't include this new line, it's going to make our code to be so hard to read. So a good tips here, you include this backslash and then n, which means a line. This is a character. This character, you have to include this character after each other and it will create a blank line, and we will be able to read it. So what is this really exactly, this backslash line? So the new character, this one here, is called escape sequence. That's the name of this. It's called the escape sequence, and it forces the cursor to change its position to the beginning of the next line on the screen. This results in a new line, just simple as that. So to create an horizontal tab, you just, it's also called this character. Okay, this one we have already said it's called the escape character, and if we put this backslash and then we put T there, this creates an horizontal tab. And we can also have like this, two of them, and this one actually insert a backslash character, just like that. And also we have this one here, one of them, and then put a star over there. This one insert a double quote character. So if we try it, and let's just put this on here and run the one that we have compiled it, and see what we have. So if you can see the first one, what did the first one do? The T statement, it actually created a horizontal tab. This is horizontal, and this space here is a tab, is like space. And the next one, it created it's actually inserted this character. When we had two of them, when we have two of them here, as you can see, it's actually inserted this backslash, one of them. And also the last one, which we had, actually I should have known this one. I should have placed the double quote here. I don't know. Yeah, just like that. So let me just compile it and do that. First of all, oh, it's giving me an error. What did I do? It's giving me some error. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Let me see it where the problem is. What did I do? So if I just okay, you pay to insert a double quote. Just hold on a little bit. I think I should rewrite this line over here. So let's say that it's a print function, and I can change this a little bit. I can change this. Let me first okay, just put this here. This. Oh, there it is. So it actually puts the double quote on the wolf. They call me the wolf, just like that. So this character, it's actually puts a double quotes character on the wolf, just like that. If you do that, put that one single, and then you put your, just like what you've seen here, just put the double quotes on the wolf. So that is it, and we are done with that. So guys, let's do the last one called comments. So how do we comment in C program? So that we do away with this kind of introduction, and the next lesson we'll be talking about. That's when we will get really into coding. We will start by talking about variables. So let's talk about comments. So comments in C are so simple. Comments, we can use them to explain a code and to make it more readable. So it can also be used to prevent execution when testing alternative code. So to comment, you have to syncline all math lines. So you can comment on a single or so a single line comment is done simply like this. So we start with 2 forward slashes, just like this. and also any text between these two lines. Let me just read. If we do this, these two lines, we have commented that statement, and anything at the end of the line is ignored by the compiler. For example, if I just comment this line, if I put this line here, so any line in front of this double slash, it's just get ignored simply like that. So it's not going to be executed. So if I do this, let me just run this and see whether we are right. Just cancel this first of all, and compile and run. Let's see. So you can see there's no this print. They call me the wolf, so it's not there. And so this example, it uses a single line comment as the end of the code. So to do that, you can say that to comment this, you can say this is a comment. So this comment is not going to be printed. Let's just remove all this. And also remove this. So this is a comment that says, let's say, learning. It talks about, says learning. Just like that. It's not going to be executed. Just comment so that one can read what we are doing or can understand what's happening. So to do a multiple lines comment, we start with a backslash. I mean, yeah, this is a front slash. So to do this, let me just do this first. Do this, and to do a multiple line comment, we just put the comment. Let's just print something here. Let's print F, and we want you to print something and say hello. So if we want to multiple comment, we just put this front slash just like this, then we put a star over here. This is a star, just like that. Once you do this, and we can also end, oh my god, because this has commented all the lines, everything below that. But to end that, you just put another one, just a star, and the front backslash, just like that. So this is a multiple comment where you can comment on multiple code. So the code will be, the only code that will be printed here is the hello wolf, and yeah, on the screen. And this is really amazing. So if you want this, we will only get the hello wolf, and the other one will be discarded, just like that. So single or multiple comment is used up to, you can use wherever you want, but you can use them when you want to comment on whatever you have. You can comment on one line only. But normally we use double front backslash for short comments, and also we use this single slash which is facing front, and with the star for longer. For example, it's good to know. Yeah, it's good to know all that. So that is all for today, and we have learned a couple of things. And in the next lesson now, guys, we will talk about variables. So thank you for joining this class of today. And if this is useful, you hit the button, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you can motivate me to continue making such videos like this. And it's good that sometimes when you do coding, you know, we have never, no program is perfect that once you do these things. So you just get errors. That's a way of learning. Thank you so much, and welcome in the next video.